Hi folks, today we're going to talk about how to plant tomatoes. So tomatoes are actually pretty tricky to plant. It's not very intuitive on how to plant them. Often new gardeners will pick up a tomato plant, buy it from the nursery, and they'll go ahead and just plant it, dig a hole and cover up the soil right by the soil block. But actually, the best way to plant a tomato is to plant it deeply. And the reason for that is that the main stalk here of the tomato plant sends out advantageous roots. And what I mean by that is literally there are roots that come off the side of the main stalk and root themselves in the soil. So by planting these deeply, it ensures a really strong foundation for your tomato plant, and you'll have a better, more productive harvest and a healthier plant. So please plant your tomatoes this way. I also want to show you guys, so this tomato plant has blossoms on them already. Now often people want to keep those on right away, right when they plant them, because they're like, oh goody, I'm gonna get my first tomatoes soon. That's a mistake. We want to put energy into the foundation of the plant within the first month and a half. So you'll be pinching off these flowers for about the first 4 to 6 weeks, so that the plant can put all of its energy into its root and leaf growth. And then after about 6 weeks, you can kind of just let it go and let it start flowering. And that way you'll ensure really delicious fruit coming off the plant. So I want to talk about how I'm going to prep this plant that I got from the nursery before I put it in the ground. So I have just some scissors here. What I'm going to be doing is cutting off the leaves and the shoots on these right now to about, maybe leave about 6 inches on the top, kind of where there's this first fork of the plant, maybe even up to here, so that it can still photosynthesize and grow. But then I'm going to plant it all the way. I'll probably plant it, about 6 inches deeper on the stem here. Let me just go ahead and show you how to do that so it makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and snip. Okay, so you see how much I cut quite a bit off. I'm also going to cut these flowers off. I don't need them right now. So this is ready to put in the ground. I'm going to go ahead and show you, walk on the other side here, where to put it. I'm going to plant, so this bed behind me is a 4x8, and I'm going to be able to fit 4 tomatoes in the back here, and then I'm going to be planting some pumpkins in the front of the tomatoes. And tomatoes, in terms of spacing, you want to space them about 24 inches apart. That's 24 inches apart. That's 2 feet away from each other. They need a lot of room. The roots need a lot of space to grow. Really important that you give the plant their space so that they can produce the best tomato. So let me go ahead and plant this for you guys. I don't know if you can see. So I have these cages right here, which are really great. They're called Texas cages. And so this is the bottom half of it, and there's a second part that you can put on top. They're great for helping contain your wild tomatoes. I highly recommend them. So I have a couple other tomato plants here I haven't put in the ground, but they're spaced about 2 feet apart. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you over here. This is about 2 feet. So I'm going to take my tomato out of its pot, and I'm going to dig a really deep hole. Okay, it's really deep, and so you see my tomatoes going all the way in. So all the stalks and the shoots and the leaves that I cut off, I'm going to make sure that all gets covered up by soil. So there we go, planted nice and deep, and it looks like a little plant again, not as big as it was when I got it, but this will ensure a really healthy tomato plant. So happy tomato planting.